Unfortunately, this is far too common and something that needs to stop. It's discriminatory, by the way. So you're going to have a lot of parents, a lot of caregivers out there that are going to be able to say, yes, that happens to my child. But I can tell you, as I had said in the beginning, it is discriminatory to where they're denying your child access and participation in school events on the basis of their disability and for no other reason. And at that point, they can't do that. I mean, there are very reasonable and very easy solutions to things like that. And that is trained aid support. All right. Now, if the law requires a school system to put in place a behavior intervention plan, not only for the school environment, but also, let's say, for on the bus, transporting between school and home, then this would also hold true when it comes to a child's ability to participate in extracurricular or non-academic settings. All right, that's included in the IDEA. So there's no skirting that. And in fact, in your IEP, there's going to be a section somewhere, and I don't know what state any of you live in, or this particular question, I don't know. I don't know what state you live in. So I can't pinpoint exactly where it would be in your IEP, but there's going to be a question asked on the IEP whether your child can participate in extracurricular and non-academic settings. Yes, no, and if it's yes, there's going to be another question, yes, with supports, or no, but there'd have to be a very, very damn good explanation as to why your child can't participate in extracurricular or non-academic activities. All right. By and large, it's either yes, meaning with no added supports or accommodations, or yes, with supports, with a description in the IEP on what that would entail. They can't make you participate, meaning they can't make your child's participation in extracurricular activities contingent upon you being there. Because if that's not something that's required of all the other parents, they can't require it of you. All right? That's discriminatory. So, very simple accommodations or additional supports are what's required. If there needs to be another behavior plan, if there needs to be a behavior analyst involved, a behavior specialist, somebody to be there to help make those environments appropriate for your child, then that's what needs to happen. And schools know about these things well in advance to sit there and make them appropriate. And most parents are going to be very accommodating to the school. And in fact, most parents, including myself and my wife, are typically wanting to be there at extracurricular or field trips or something like that, so that we can not only enjoy that activity with our child, take the pictures, all that other stuff, but also be there because we understand the nature of our daughter's disability and how that would impact her in these settings. For example, she loves riding the bus to field trips, but it doesn't necessarily mean she wants to ride the bus home. And so my wife and I are there when she decides that she's had enough and she's ready to go. Excuse me, I'm getting over an illness. Okay, so there are very, very reasonable accommodations, but this is something to where I wouldn't wait until you reach that point with your principal. I would make sure that you cover those bases well in advance in your IEP meeting, have it discussed, have it written down, so that these things are not a surprise for anybody, so that there's sufficient time for planning, for organizing the additional staff support, training, things of that nature. Okay, it's very important that a parent be proactive as a valuable member of your child's IEP team, of being able to see long term what the things will be to where the bases that need to be covered, so that you don't run into these problems of exclusion. Okay, inappropriate. Schools should not do it. They do it all the time, though, and I'd love to sit there and, well, what's the corrective action? Well, I've explained what the corrective action is. It doesn't necessarily mean that the school is going to listen to you, and if it's a violation, and I'm telling you, then the other options, if it's a repetitive thing, is that you file something with the Office of Civil Rights, but you do so within, I think it's 45 days or 60 days, maybe 90 days. You have to get on the OCR, Office of Civil Rights website, to see how quickly you have to file after an incident. But that's a good one for them. You can request mediation, or you can file due process on an issue like that, because it would be discriminatory. And corrective action would be something you'd be entitled to. Okay?